We are just about to close the enrollment for Personal Injury Beast Camp. It is a virtual format of Personal Injury Beast Camp, and it's world class. We have Dan Murphy talking about biomechanics for the cervical spine, talking about side impacts, how they're different from rear end impacts, super detailed information, but in an understandable, concise way. Biomechanically driven, Deed Harrison, nobody better in the world, talking about science and research that will validate when you can release a patient from personal injury. But this Beast Camp ends the enrollment November the 3rd. The reason we do that is we put docs together and we move you through as a class. So if you have questions, I can adequately answer those. We've got over 20 hours of video. You will have access to these videos and the information for repeat views. We've added pediatrics in car crashes and pregnant mamas who are in a car crash through the teachings of Claudia Onrig. Now, she literally wrote the book on this, Chiropractic and Pediatrics. So when it comes to people and motor vehicle accidents, she is phenomenal in telling you what to do, how to document it, what to be looking for. So we've put together a world-class lineup that after November 3rd, I'm sorry, you're gonna be locked out. This is last call. We're about to begin this class. And if you've never done personal injury, we make this super easy so that you can jump into this arena and feel really good at the end of the program to do it, to save people from the opiates and the drugs. I've been to other PI workshops where it's a massive amount of information, graphs, and data you're never going to use. It's not really meant for the practicing chiropractor. I think it's meant to win, judicial arguments, or maybe to have you win a class action lawsuit in court. I'm going to teach it in a way where you don't need to go to trial. You can minimize or avoid depositions if you do this right. And we've also got billing and coding expert, Dr. Sam Collins. Now, the reason I say that is I want you to do this in a way that you can sleep at night. We have a doctor of physical therapy and Dr. Kelsey Anderson that will teach you exercises you can do in office if you choose to, and you'd be able to bill for these things, or they can be at-home exercises you give your patients to do. Now, I run a high volume practice, so I prefer they don't do it in my office, but they can still benefit from the care. A doctor of physical therapy is also on this faculty to share with you what a PT might do, and you can have them do it at home or in your office, and then you can bill for it. Totally up to you and how you practice, but in order to do PI, you do not need to change your practice style. In fact, this is meant to be an extra and passive 100 PI cases per year, which if you do the math on that, you're gonna 100 times your ROI on this program within 12 to 18 months. It's crazy. I teach the marketing. I will teach you new sources of new patients, specifically on personal injury. I'll teach you ways that you can do outreach that will feed you for years to come in a real passive format. We have Dr. Drew Clark teaching upper cervical, Ed Harkins teaching extremity, just a really solid top to bottom faculty. You can't miss it. We also clue in with phone calls with personal injury attorneys, kind of a look behind the curtain, their perspective, legally what's allowed, what isn't. It's world class. I don't know what else to say, but you're gonna miss out if you don't take action, because beyond November 3rd, we can't accept it. You'll have to wait till the next class enrolls, which won't be until 2021, because it is a virtual PI Beast Camp. The videos are loaded, the downloads are there. We have an awesome online platform that we've built, so your at-home experience is killer. It's clear. The audio is super sharp. We put in the AV work so that this is better, I'm going to tell you, than what we could do live, because in order to get all these phenomenal people there and their calendars sync, it would probably take us 2 years to figure that out. It's here, it's for you, but you're going to miss out if you don't take action. So please avoid FOMO. The fear of missing out sucks. Don't get FOMO. Take action. Virtual PI Beast, you'll 100 times your investment within 12, 18 months. It's crazy how quickly you can really pick up the speed of this game, and we do it in a way that it's a paint by numbers. So if you're dabbling and you want to get better, if you've never done it and you're looking for added income for your practice because lockdown has affected you, or your profit margins are just too tight, you got to do this. I mean, it's so fundamental the way we teach this. It's so clear and concise. We're changing practices. We're adding another 6 figures to the bottom line because we're saving lives in the process. And mechanically, we're getting people's spines working the right way. Nothing better than that. It's a win-win-win scenario. We just want you involved. Cheers, we're about to take off. Ship's gonna leave the harbor. Don't get FOMO.
Dr. Brad absolutely knows the ins and outs of insurance situations and communication with attorneys, and how to get the most out of this in an ethical and honest, upfront way. He asked me to come in and teach you the biomechanics from a documentation point of view, so you can really defend your case should it go down that route. And it's rare that it does, but you want to make sure you're absolutely doing what's in the best interest of the patient, but also for your practice and your bottom line. And I think it's an awesome team. I'm so excited to have done this with Dr. Brad. Look, you know, I've known Brad for a long, long time, and I've seen what he's done for other chiropractors in the profession, and he's absolutely got them up to speed with state-of-the-art practice communication and business strategies that protect yourself in today's world, but also increase the reimbursement that you get from the patient, from the insurance setting, from the third party, or under personal injury situations. And let's be honest, look, number one, we're into this for the health and well-being of the patient, but you also have to run a successful business. If you don't make money, you can't help anybody. And I'm here to say that absolutely Brad does a great job with that. Better than actually I used to do in my own practice. So if I was in active practice like I used to be a few years ago, I'd actually be working with Brad as my coach. And that's hands down an absolute honest statement.
Give me an idea of left, right when it would come to like ankle stuff. Where would you expect that to be?
You're gonna see the driver's gonna have a lot of right ankle, right hip, because they're slamming on the brakes. So make sure you just look at those when you evaluate the patient and ask them, hey, anything going on with your ankle or your hip? Right. And sometimes their spine and their neck and their headache so bad, they don't even think about that. They're like, yeah, you're right. That is kind of bothering me.
Yeah. Let's hear from Jamie West.
Hey, it's Jamie West, and we have a kind of a problem that we need Glow After Dark to discuss, that we could use guidance on.
And so that page there would then go into court.
So by doing that templating and basically the way you would do that motion study, it's a clear indication of a subluxation, which I think is super important for chiropractors to know, right? This is an objective way to show subluxations pre-care and then show a reduction in subluxations post-care.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the questions I always get asked is, from the time of the accident, how far out is kind of like the cutoff before a chiropractor should no longer take them as a personal injury and maybe just consider them as a cash patient?
Sure, great question, and this varies from attorney to attorney. For my office, we're looking at between 2 weeks as a soft deadline and probably 30 days as a pretty hard out.
We're gonna give you some options here, and this is a much refined list. You choose what you want. You might send them home to do some of these things, maybe do it in office. But to understand, if you were to bill 6 codes that were timed procedures, then they would have to be there for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I run a high volume practice, Ed runs a high volume practice. Pro athletes, children. And we do some PI. Now again, 100 passive PI plus what we generate, it's a healthy practice. But the way we're gonna teach you to bill this, it's dialed in to where it's honest and you can sleep at night. Eric, how's everything?
You know, everything's great.
Good.
It's shocking to get a call from you. It's a nice surprise tonight. So.
Right, my pleasure, buddy. So tell me what I can do for you. What was the question? And I don't want to put words in your mouth.
How does from the attorney point of view, how should that be documented? You know, if we want to document one thing, but then we were saying something else in the records and